Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Online Darts Live League. We've had some Group A action over the last 3 days and of course the start of Group C this morning. That was fantastic and I'm sure Group B action tonight will provide the same quality of action. I think tonight when we look at the quality in this group we will not be disappointed. When we look at the first game, it's going to be Chaz Barstow, one of our phase champions, playing in the first game, and he's going to be up against Connor Scutt, a man who has been breaking records this week so far, but as far as tonight is concerned, you can't look at those two and think that they are the favourites, because we have other people who could contend. As far as Jared Cole, Ryan Furness and Martin Thomas are concerned, I think they have every chance of making it to the top 3, of course, over the next couple of nights. So we'll have 10 matches tonight. We'll have 10 matches tomorrow night as well. Everybody will play 8 games throughout the course of the next couple of nights in this group. And they're looking to join Chris Gilliland, who did make it through in Group A this week, but only just. 15 games were played by all of the players. And as you can see, he won by 1 solitary win in the end over Jared Cole, who missed 1 dart to win the group. Jared Cole is playing tonight alongside Connor Scutt. Burnett, Marsh and Osborne were playing in Group C a little bit earlier on, which was bossed by Adam Smith-Neale. You can see that he had a dream debut in picking up 5 wins from 5, but there were impressive displays from Scott Walters, Scott Marsh, and of course, Kurt Parry and Richie Burnett. The Welshmen were at the bottom, but they did have some highlights in there. We'll see the conclusion of that group tomorrow, but as far as tonight is concerned, we should pay attention to match number 1, because it could be a belter between Barstow and Scutt. So without further ado, let's get down to the board. Let's get cracking. Barstow is back for another crack. That's got a certain ring to it. And this man's had a hell of a year. But so has Connor Scutt. He is definitely trending in the right direction, and he will come into Group B as one of the favourites because of the form he has shown this week in patches. But he's got a tough test in his first match of this group. We'll talk a little bit more about what Connor Scutt has done the last 3 days in due course.
First leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
But it's best of 7 all the way through tonight. And thank you for joining us. We appreciate your company. But I think the first thing we need to do here
42.
At the Online Darts Live League is congratulate Chaz Barstow on something else apart from winning Phase 4. He is going to make his debut at the World Darts Championship
41.
at Alexandra Palace at the end of the year. The draw will be made at the end of this month to see who his debut will be against.
85.
He didn't have a tour card back in January, but he has filled a spot in enough Players' Championship events this year and won enough games to get himself into Alexandra Palace. And that is not an easy thing to do. There are many great players who have not made it, but Chaz has, and that deserves many
58.
Congratulations. All the very best there, Chaz. I will be there cheering you on.
One
of only 4 players who have won a phase this year. He was slightly fortunate
85.
to win that phase because he was up against Jared Cole in that final. And Jared did have a chance to win it from a very advantageous position, but he wasn't able to do it.
97.
Since then, Robert Thornton has taken phase 5, and previous to Barstow's win, it was wins for Jim Williams and Richie Burnett,
71.
who was in danger
Connor, you require
in Group C of not making
123.
Champions Week for the very first time this year. Scutt needs the ball for the first leg.
Game shot the
And
first
that is a
leg.
beauty
Connor
to start
Scutt.
things off. Well, a little bit earlier on today, we had a plethora of Ton Plus finishes, so why not get some more?
Second leg, it's Connor to throw
Start
first.
as we mean
Game
to go on. Speaking about that, it was a Group C record earlier today for the amount of Ton Plus checkouts in a
125.
single day. 17 of them, breaking the previous record quite easily.
180.
But maybe that 123 checkout has woken Chaz up. Not the only record that Group C broke today.
100.
They had a collective average, all 6 players, of 91.47, which is a daily Group C record.
100.
And I have to say it, 91.47 is a very good effort from all 6 players. Particularly Adam Smith-Neale, who had a breakout debut day.
57.
This fast, effective style that
140.
Barstow has become a favourite of a lot of people watching the Online Darts Live League this year, particularly myself. He is just so watchable, and when he gets it right, he can find a ridiculous level of performance.
99. Chaz should require 81.
Treble 19. That leaves 74. Double top.
41.
And that one was drastically pulled to the left
Connor, you
after
require
getting the double 17 on
120.
approach. Hang about. Scutt for tops.
Game
And
shot
he's
the
in
second
for
leg.
another ton
Furness
plus
Scutt.
check out. He doubles up on those, and Barstow's in early trouble.
Third leg, it's Chaz to throw first.
I'm sure Barstow is aware of the threat that Connor Scutt
43.
poses. Especially after the last few days where he has broken a couple of records himself.
58.
He now holds the Group A record for the best amount of 180s
55.
in a single day. He didn't get the Group A record collectively for 3 days. He missed out on that by 2. But yesterday, 16 180s in a single
87.
session. That is now a record. But another record he has broken is the single day average record
100.
over the course of 5 matches. He now holds that at 102.02. Just embellishing his reputation even more.
85.
These two players have reached an average of over 110,
60.
which is something the other 3 players in this group have not done so far. Best average for Barstow, 111.33.
101.
And something similar for Scutt this week, where he set a new personal best of 111.04. So you can see where I'm going with this
100.
Scutt business.
Connor, you
He's doing a
require
lot
170.
of record breaking for himself and over others this week. He has hit a 170 this week.
121.
I wouldn't be
Chaz, you
surprised if he
require
gets one a little bit later in the
143.
night. Not on this occasion, though. But
44.
if he gets the
Connor, you
49,
require 49.
he'll have 2 breaks in the bank. And he will have the opportunity to serve for 4-0.
Game shot on the
He
third
hasn't
leg.
missed a double yet.
Furness Scutt.
3 shots at double, 3 hits, and he will serve first in leg 4 to try and beat Barstow by 4 legs to 0.
Fourth leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
Throughout the last 9 months,
81.
Barstow has won fans by playing some stellar stuff in evening sessions on Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays.
44.
We've seen Scutt for the last couple of months. And the more attention I pay to my Twitter feed, the more people are talking about him.
140.
Some people have even mentioned his name as one of the likely candidates to win the WDF
100.
World Championship at Lakeside in January. I don't think that is out of the question.
134.
Back in 2001, I remember in the September of...
55.
It was actually
Connor, you
September of
require
2000.
146.
I was defeated by a guy by the name of John Walton. And I went on to say that he might win the world title 4 months later.
99.
He won the World Masters and the World title within that 4-month spell. If Connor keeps playing this way, he's going to cause everybody he plays a lot of problems. Can he have a perfect display on doubles? Double 16.
Game,
it's not
shot,
perfect,
and the match.
But it's very close to it. 4 hits from 5 attempts, 80% on the doubles, and a stunning display. Chaz Barstow starts a little slowly, but Connor Scutt is all over it with a 97 average pretty much. And like you see, 80% on the doubles with 2-ton-plus checkouts to start his campaign for Thursday night. We are going to see Jared Cole, who finished second in Group A, next up. And he's up against Ryan Furness, who is very dangerous. This could be a game just as good as the first. Stay with us for that one. back to the evening's action here in Group B. And we've had a blistering start from Connor Scutt, beating Chaz Barstow by 4 legs to 0. And without further ado, let's go into match number 2, where Ryan Furness of Hampshire will take on Hertfordshire's Jared Cole. Great to have Ryan back. Made a bit of an impression in Champions Week a couple of weeks ago in phase number 5, but fell short in Champions Week finals. That's something that Jared knows a little bit about, as he fell short in phase 4 at the final hurdle. But 2 more players for you here who have 4 matches tonight to try and do well in Group B.
First, game on.
But it could well be Connor Scutt, the man to catch, based on his form and the way he started this evening.
57.
Well, let's have a little chat about the way that Jared Cole has played this week so far. Over the course of Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. He played 15 games,
60.
won 9 of them. Had a running average of 90.19, which is very impressive. 15 maximums.
34.
And maybe the reason why he didn't get through that group as the winner, because Chris Gilliland did that, is because
91.
his doubles percentage was down at 32%. If you look at Gilliland's doubles percentage of 37,
55.
that extra 5% is probably the reason why Chris got through and Jared did not.
133.
One thing that Jared did better than anybody else in Group A were the ton plus checkouts. He got 7 of them.
100.
And we've already seen 2 tonight from Connor Scutt. So will we get plenty from Jared over the next couple of days?
97. Jared, you require 155.
Let's find out. First attempt. And Ryan will have
79.
an easier attempt here.
Ryan, you require 120.
He's afforded a miss at the treble with the first start. So now it's got to be the treble, which he finds for tops.
80. Jared, you require 76.
That makes things a bit harder. You never want to miss the big 20 on a 76.
Ryan, you require 40.
Double 10. Clips the wire. And finds the double 10 for an opening break of throw for Ryan Furness. Jared Cole will not be happy to surrender his throw in leg 1, so has to respond quickly.
Second leg, it's Ryan to throw first. Game on.
I've had a few chats with Ryan over the last couple of weeks since he played in Champions Week about the fact that
59.
he uses one of my old replica darts and he's been struggling to find another set. And apparently, over the last few days, he has located another set.
60.
I'm happy for him, actually, because they're quite hard to find. I don't even have a set myself.
93.
Just goes to show, if you find a set that you really love, buy more than one set.
100.
And that's not me trying to plug my own equipment. I'm saying that to every dart player around the world who's tuning in to watch this. The last thing you need is a mishap
47.
with a set of darts, and you can't replace something.
96.
It's an interesting group, is Group B. I'm not just talking about
96.
this bunch of players. I'm talking about the dynamic of only having 8 games. 4 tonight, 4 tomorrow.
58.
3 players coming through this group of 5 players. But it's somewhat urgent compared to Group A.
138.
You get 15 matches in that group. So this one is a bit more urgent. It's more of a sprint finish.
100.
And if Ryan Furness takes this,
68.
Jared's in. Bother. Double 16.
Game shot on the
Furness
second leg.
is
Ryan
very
Furness.
comfortable at taking legs in 6 visits. So if Jared Cole does not up the ante, Furness may have him for breakfast.
Third leg, it's Jared to throw first. $134.
This is the first time that these two have met.
60.
It won't be the last because they will play each other tomorrow. And they will hope that they will play each other on Saturday night. If that is the case,
55.
they will have done well tonight and tomorrow. But the fact that 2 players from this group have to be eliminated,
100.
it's exciting. And I don't mean that in a mean way. It's because all 5 players tonight and tomorrow night have got pedigree in this room this year. So there are going to be 2 strong players eliminated.
100.
It might not be Furness. He's not having to reach a massive level so far, as Jared keeps wiring certain trebles.
161.
He might be in a very similar position to Chaz Barstow after game 1.
65.
You might need something like this as a catalyst. That works. That doesn't.
130.
Great approach as he ups the ante. However, leg over. Ruthless stuff from Ryan Furness in a very similar vein to what we saw from Connor Scutt in game 1. The doubling is exceptional.
Fourth leg, it's Ryan to throw first. Game on.
Maybe not to the same percentage as Connor Scutt, but the timing aspect just as good.
60.
I was talking a little bit earlier on in the day about Colin Osborne
60.
and Richie Burnett having the ability to wipe the slate clean and have a fresh challenge in Group C. It wasn't the ideal day
100.
for Richie Burnett, to say the least. He didn't pick up any points. Colin Osborne only got 4.
11.
There is a flip side to saying that. You look at Jared Cole, who's played brilliantly this week and only just missed out on winning Group A by 1 dart.
55.
1 dart at double 16. If he'd have hit that, he wouldn't be playing here. It would be Chris Gilliland in this match.
100.
Now he's got to go through all of this again and start from scratch.
$100.
The 28-year-old from Hampshire. Just another one off the production line where Hampshire seem to get
56.
dart players aplenty every single year. Just when you think certain generations are finished with, they come through with another crop of players.
120.
That was unfortunate. That must have really snagged on the wire. Sometimes his darts do go in a little bit sideways.
104.
Well done by Jared Cole to get to a finish, but it may be too late. He's 50% on his double so far.
Game,
and it's a little bit better than that now.
Ryan Furness.
It's 4-0 aplenty tonight. And we've got Connor Scutt winning by 4 legs to 0. And Ryan Furness has repeated the act. So, Barstow down 4-0. Cole down 4-0. And even 17 darters for Ryan Furness in that one. That's good enough with 57% on the doubles and that high out of 96. So recovery is needed quickly by Jared Cole. We'll take a break from them playing, but we will have Chaz Barstow in the next match as we say hello to Martin Thomas of Wales, who makes his first bow for Thursday night when we come back. Hello everybody and welcome back to tonight's Group B action in the Online Darts Live League for week 2 of the final phase of 2021. We have one more player making their first bow of the night, and that is Martin Thomas up against Chaz Barstow, who lost his first game 4-0. Chaz has had about 25 minutes just to soak up that defeat, but now we have Martin Thomas, who's had a very good 2021, now about to take him on to see if he can compound his misery.
First leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
Good to have Martin back, the jovial lad from Aberystwyth. All players in this group seem to be
45.
rather swift at delivering the dart. That's what we like to see these days. And that was definitely the case for Group C action
43.
a little bit earlier on. There were a lot of 4-0s in the daytime action. In fact, there were 5 4-0s. And we've already had 2 tonight. Chaz will be hoping that another
93.
one doesn't come his way. Unless he, of course, is on the right side of it. Chaz is one of those players who has played over 100 games here
41.
this year. This is his 104th game. He's got 63 wins.
140.
And his win percentage is around the 61% mark.
$94.
As for Martin Thomas, this is his 70th game. He has won 45 of them.
130.
He has the most impressive win percentage of any player here in this group tonight. 65.22%.
60.
He has hit a 170 finish at some point, and he will pose a threat to the players like Barstow. Now, what does he want to do with 76 left? He's going to leave tops.
55.
So is it deja vu for Barstow, with Thomas taking a ton-plus checkout in leg 1? Just the way that Connor Scutt did in the first game. Bullseye.
71 scored, 50 left. 72.
Doesn't happen this time.
So
Barstow's done well to leave tops after 15.
20.
And somehow doesn't find it.
Require
a bad third dart. All he can do is laugh it off. As Martin Thomas misses the single and leaves 37. So single 5. Or that for double 10.
39.
All a bit messy from these 2 players in their last 3 darts. Double 7.
Six. Martin, you require 10.
Didn't expect this leg to go as long as it has. That's not a good lie.
No score.
He hits the wrong double.
Chaz, you require 14.
It's one of those legs that obliterates the possibility of a good average. Not that averages matter.
Game shot on the first
winning legs
leg.
and winning
Chaz
matches
Barstow.
is what matters in games like this. Sometimes you've got to win ugly, And that was an ugly start, but a leg win for Barstow.
Second leg, it's Chaz to throw first. $97.
I wonder if Chaz has ever been to Barstow in California. I'm sure there will be a lot of dart players out there who are named after places. Barstow was, of course, made famous by one of the Fast and Furious movies. And Wales has had some very famous actors and actresses over the years, the likes of Anthony Hopkins, Richard Burton, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and many, many more.
95.
Doesn't take a genius to work out who was the Welshman here.
140.
It was Thomas, is the one wearing the Welsh colours. That first leg has been forgotten very quickly, and Barstow is down to a potential finish after 12 this time, with his opponent looking to leave double top after 12.
138. Chaz, you require 100.
Chaz leaves top after 13.
Game shot
and takes the leg in 15
Chaz
for
Barstow.
2-0. So we have the possibility of another 4-0. I know we're only halfway there, but it could be one of those strange evenings
Game on.
where it's wide margins all the time. And it would be the perfect response for Chaz.
100.
Earlier on, we saw Scott Walters start his campaign against Richie Burnett in the first game of the day with a 4-0 victory. And then when he played Adam Smith-Neal in his second game, he was defeated 4-0. So all of the hard work was undone.
85.
It could be the exact opposite for Barstow, where he could recover in the best way he knows how. They have met before, just the once, in this room. And it was won by Martin Thomas by 4 legs to 3. That was on the 14th of August. And it was in a weekly finals on a Saturday night. It was an important game.
100. Chaz, you require
Barstow for
96.
3-0. Double top.
76.
He's definitely
Martin,
getting sharper as the night goes on. And he will get a look at double 10 to improve his average
55.
with a possible 13
Chaz, you
darter.
require 20.
Can he see enough of it? Yes,
Game
he can.
on the
That
third
one's
leg.
in. And
Chaz
Charlie
Barstow.
Corstefine, our referee for the evening, does confirm it. So we're on for a third possible 4-0 to start our night.
Fourth leg, it's Chaz to throw first.
And it's likely, because Barstow has 2 breaks of throw in the match. He's now throwing for that 4-0.
99.
If this is the first time you're tuning in this evening,
100.
tuning into Sporty Stuff TV, this is not the norm. This is not what happens all the time. In some sessions, we don't get any 4-0 scorelines.
$28.
And Thomas is in trouble because Barstow is relentless when he gets going. He's played so much better
95.
in this game than he did in his first one. He's raised his level by at least 9%, which in darts terms is a lot.
100. Chaz, you require
Maybe the best way to finish a match.
130.
Well, he gets the baby fish to set up tops. And the average will climb towards the 90 mark.
95.
And
Chaz,
he's
you
got
require
6
40.
darts if he needs them.
Game,
And only needs the
shots,
one.
and the
A
match.
much better
Chaz
display from Barstow. And a third consecutive 4-0 scoreline. You can see his average of 91.09. He ups his level by 11 points from his first display of the night. The checkouts didn't need to be precise, but they were in the last 3 legs of the contest. So well done, Chaz Barstow, for undoing all of the damage from the first match of the evening. Martin Thomas will have to come back later to fix things, but the next game, well, we really do look forward to this one. We had the best game of the week between these two yesterday. It was 100 plus averages for both. Will it be again tonight as Jared Cole takes on Connor Scutt when we come back? Welcome back to Thursday evening action. Paul the Asset Nicholson here for Sporty Stuff TV and for all of our viewers from around the world. It has been an extraordinary evening so far with 3 4-0 scorelines to start. Match number 4 coming in now, and I think this one might be a little bit closer. At least I hope so. The last game they played, which was yesterday, just before midday, was, in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of people's opinion, the best game of the week so far. We'll talk about that in a bit more depth in a second, but there you see the proof of those 4-0 scorelines. 3 players with 1 win.
First leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
One of those players, Connor Scutt, who started with a 4-0 win over Barstow, who has erased the deficit that was created by that 4-0 loss to Scutt by beating Martin Thomas by the same scoreline. But that game that they played yesterday,
60.
It was spellbinding at times. So much to appreciate. It was a personal best average for the year by the world modern amateur darts champion,
99.
that is Jared Cole. 107.46 with 67% on doubles.
100.
Beating Connor by 4 legs to 3, who himself averaged 102.48. He really has been playing well this week, Connor Scutt. And he's getting big averages more often now than ever before. That is a worrying
81.
sign for his opponents. He's just in a really good place with his game. And when you're playing this well,
190.
You want to keep playing. But speaking to Jared over the last couple of days, he's been a good friend of mine for a good
45.
3 or 4 years.
Connor, you require 125.
He says he's getting into a good place in his life by using the dartboard as a bit of therapy.
85.
He does need to raise his level from his first game because the 79 average is not going to do much against Connor right now. He knows that.
40.
Tops for Scutt. Not comfortable on dart 2. Looks at double 5.
Game shot
And takes the first leg in 18
Connor
darts.
Scutt.
I think there was a really good piece of maturity in that visit from Connor because he was not comfortable after missing tops, and he would only deliver the dart when he was ready.
Second leg, it's Jared to throw first.
In similar fashion to Kurt Parry a little bit earlier on today, maybe Jared Cole just needs to find a double to settle him into tonight's action.
140.
But to compare Connor Scutt to somebody from a little bit earlier on, maybe he's feeling like Adam Smith-Neal. Invincible.
93.
Smith-Neal started with a 4-0 and then got another one in his second match. And he never looked back. Ended up winning 5 games from 5 earlier
81.
on a dream first day here.
56.
This is match 160 of the year for Jared Cole. He has won 92 of them. Win percentage of 58%. One of the only things he hasn't done this year is hit a 170 checkout. He has got a 167. A running average of around 87.
85.
Which is very good.
Connor, you require 140.
But neither of these players have won a phase. They've both been runner-up in a phase.
60.
Connor Scutt lost to Thornton a couple of weeks ago by the odd leg. It was a brilliant final. And Jared Cole lost to Barstow by 4
Connor,
legs
you
to 3.
require 80.
Single 20 leaves tops for 2-0.
40.
Chance for Cole.
Jared requires 68.
Double 4.
60.
Just get the feeling that that third dart
Connor, you
came out
require
really
40.
quickly. Double 10 again.
Game shot on the
Hits it
second
this time
leg.
and takes
Connor
a 2-0
Scutt.
lead after surviving missed shots from Jared Cole. So, what's going to happen when we go into leg 3? Is it going to be 3-0 like it was in the previous 3 games?
Third leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
Jared's got a very good record against Connor Scutt. He's won 2 of their 3 meetings this week.
45.
They've all been fairly close affairs. 4-2 on Monday and 4-3 the last couple of days. The only other time they played was on the 28th of August. And Jared won that one by
93.
4 legs to 0. But since then, Connor has done more. He has made the British Open final, where he lost to Scott Marsh, who played earlier on today.
60.
He's got more experience in this room. He's a very different player to who he was back on the 28th of August.
180.
But finally, we get a maximum from Jared Cole. First piece of real defiance.
43.
And Connor doesn't have an answer straight away. This is better.
180.
Never rains, but it pours. And this is a proper leg from JC. Let's have another.
140. Jared, you require 48.
This is going to be the first match tonight that isn't going to be 4-0.
Game shot on the
Yes,
third
it is.
leg.
Because Jared Cole has a really good 11 darter there. Best leg of the night so far.
Fourth leg, it's Jared to throw first. Game on. $57.
Just to reiterate some of the things that have been said over the last few days for the people who are just tuning in for the first time this week. We will not have any darts next week.
97.
We will make way for the Grand Slam of Darts, which starts on Saturday. And if you aren't aware, Dimitri Vandenberg has had to pull out of that tournament
93.
a little bit earlier on today because of a positive COVID test. And he has been replaced by Chris Dobie of Northumberland. But no online darts live league next week.
100.
But the week after, we will have a new week in qualification for Champions Week in
190.
early December, where the likes of Brian Rahman, Kevin Burness and Rob Collins have already qualified. On Saturday night, we will have another 3 players who will
96.
qualify for that Champions Week. But there will be 2 more qualifying weeks before that.
100.
And when we return a week on Monday, after this week is completed, Chris Murphy will be your commentator and guide you through that week.
47. Jared, you require 132.
This is one of the nicest finishes that dart players like. Another bullseye, just misses out.
92.
I sense
you
that
require
Jared Cole is about to get
161.
back into this match. However, just had to hold our breath for a second. The possibility of a big finish there for Connor Scutt.
47. Jared, you require 40. Game shot on the
Tops is
fourth
found,
leg.
and this
Jared
one is now
Cole.
2-2. This fixture jumped off the page before we started this evening. It is not disappointing, and we're into best of 3.
Fifth leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on. $140.
I'm sure Connor is looking forward to maybe a tiny break from the game after this week.
140.
He could probably do with a couple of days off. He's been playing so much recently. It's all well and good having the appetite to play every day, but even when you do feel like that, it's constructive to have a little break now and again.
140.
Just to rest your mind and your body, get some fresh air, and get ready for the next challenge, of which there will be plenty for Connor coming
99.
up. I'm sure he's going to make his World Championship debut come the Lakeside in January for the inaugural WDF World Championship.
140.
I'll be amazed if he doesn't get there. I wonder who Jared is going to defend his World
98.
Modern Amateur
Connor, you
Darts title
require
against next.
81.
When that comes around, we'll let you know who it's against. 12 and bull for 3-2.
56.
Not
Jared, you
far
require
away.
164.
No big checkout for Jared. He needs errors
92.
from the sniper.
Connor, you require 25.
He needs to be off target to give Jared the chance of winning 3 straight legs.
Game shot
But
on
he
the
is
big
not
leg.
off target.
Connor Scutt.
His doubles throughout the course of the night have been excellent. He may be not playing at the same level as earlier, but it's still good enough for a lead.
6th leg, it's Jared to throw first. 96.
You may ask me at this juncture what kind of points total is going to be good enough to get through this group. Top 3 of 5 players. There's a little bit of room for error there. But from my previous experience, if you get to 10 points, you should be fine. If you can win 5 games from 8, that should make you safe.
100.
If you win all 4 games on your first night, you'll have done a lot of the hard work. But then that puts a lot of pressure on getting your first win the next day.
57.
Because the last thing you want to do is go on a losing streak on the second night and think, I'm looking over my shoulder. Who's got what? You've got to compartmentalise your game as a dart player and just focus on one game at a time. I know it's a cliche. But the way we are playing the game these days, we are turning
100.
these young stars into robotic darting machines who can compartmentalise a lot better than
81.
previous generations. They don't think about tomorrow. They think about now. No maximums in this match for Connor Scutt, which is a bit of a shock
59.
considering how many maximums
Jared,
he's hit this week.
119.
12 and bull this time for Jared.
Game shot.
And that was
6th
delivered with a
leg.
punch.
Jared Cole.
3-3. We're going all the way once again. They love a 3-3 going into a sudden death leg, these two. We're doing it
7th
for
and
the
final
3rd
leg. It's Connor
straight
to throw
day.
First. Game on.
It's not the same level as we saw yesterday, but it's just as intriguing.
57.
I mentioned Jared Cole's record against Connor. They've played 4 times in total, and Jared's won 3 of them. Is he about to embellish that record with another
59.
win here? And just to give you an insight into who has the throw at the start of certain matches this evening, over the course of the 2 nights,
60.
you get the throw an even amount of times. You get it 4 times, and then you don't have it 4 times over the 8 matches you play.
57.
All 3 matches this evening have been won by the person who didn't have the throw. The person who didn't have the throw in this match? Jared Cole.
40.
If he gets a big score here, he may well have the impetus to win against the throw again.
134.
I would classify that as a big visit.
$134.
Touche, Jared, says Connor, who double dips on the 57.
99.
That's a great last start. Boy, he didn't have much room to aim for in that 60 bed, and he found the top corner. And as Smithy would say, and Gavin and Stacey, right in the stanchion.
97. Jared to require 152.
260s needed.
98.
Connor Scutt has been under the pump since he was 2-0 up.
Connor, you require 113.
54 and tops was to steal a win
39.
by the odd leg. And now Jared Cole
Jared, you require
has got the more
54.
doable finish to keep this trend going for the night, where everybody wins without the darts in leg 1 or leg 7. And Cole
34.
edges it. And if he is
Connor,
to
you
get the win,
require
he now has
74.
to survive a possible match start or 2. That leaves 41. So it's 1 dart.
Game,
And he
shots,
only needs
and
the 1
match.
dart and
Connor
edges
Scutt.
that one. It could be a huge win for Connor Scutt. It puts him at the top of the table on 4 points. But the key thing for Jared Cole with that defeat is that he stays on 0 points. He had the better average by almost 12. An unbelievable statistic when you think about it. The doubles were pretty much the same. And of course, Connor Scutt had more attempts, but that game was won by 1 solitary dart. Well done, Connor. You're on 4 points now. And when we come back, we will see Martin Thomas and Ryan Furness again. It was a good start for Furness, not so good for Thomas. He's looking to respond the same way that Chaz Barstow did in his second match. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, and it's time for the 5th match of our 10 for this evening. And at the completion of this one between Ryan Furness and Martin Thomas, we will have completed half of our matches already. It's been a fast and furious evening, so let's continue with these two playing their second match of the night. It's all smiles for Ryan Furness so far. Will he be smiling the same way that Connor Scutt is? As he's banked 2 wins from 2, and that possibility is there for Ryan if he can beat Martin Thomas. There you can see the table. Scutt at the top, 2 wins from 2. He could have company on 4 points, but Ryan Furness, if he wins by 4 legs to 2 or better, will go top on leg difference.
First leg, it's Ryan to throw first. Game on.
You've got to say that the last match was a chance missed for Jared Cole.
93.
Against Connor Scutt at the minute, you can't expect to get many chances to beat him. And there were 2 shots at double for Jared to get that victory.
140.
And unfortunately, the shots let him down. First performance of the night
100.
was not a disappointment for Ryan. He beat Jared Cole as well with a steady 88.41 average display.
58.
He'll be looking to better that. And we have seen better stuff from Ryan in the times he has been on this hockey. He's now played 34 matches.
140.
He's won 22 of them for a win percentage pretty close to what Martin Thomas has. Around about the 64 and a bit percent mark. The thing that impresses me the most about Ryan Furness in all of the games I've seen from him,
140.
it's consistency. And of everybody here tonight, he has the best running average of them all at 91.2.
23 score leads 182, yeah.
We could have unearthed something here with this 28-year-old.
41. Ryan, you require
He's showing
28.
that consistency again in leg 1.
Game shot on the first
There is a
leg.
15 darter
Ryan Furness.
for Ryan Furness. He is very consistent, like I say. And when he's leaving doubles after 12 at the start of contests, he's causing people problems.
Second leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
And considering how strong a year Martin Thomas has had, he was incredibly close to winning the Challenge Tour Order of Merit,
100.
which would have given him a tour card for the next couple of years. When he's played on the tour as a substitute, he has done pretty
96.
well. He's played here. He's played in local competitions, I'm sure. He's played on the Pro Tour, the Challenge Tour. He's had a very
59.
busy year. But judging from what I've seen from Ryan so far over the last couple of months, 2022
100.
could have his name on it. Now, I myself am going to Q School for the PDC Pro Tour in
87.
January. And I'm not putting any pressure on myself to get through. I'm going to try and go through a process like Colin Osborne has of rebuilding
99.
from scratch again. But there are going to be people at Q School with form, confidence and ability. And these two,
180.
I'll be keeping my eye out for them. 174 is the score here.
138.
1 dart short.
Martin requires 75.
But Martin cannot afford a mistake.
51.
Oh, 2 wired shots.
Ryan,
to
you
take that
require
75.
68.
Can Furness take another 15 darter?
48.
Not on this occasion.
Martin, you require 24.
So back to double 12. 2 threes.
21.
Splits all three and Furness
Ryan, you require
has 3
20.
clean at double 10.
Game shot.
Only
the
needs the
second
one
leg.
and maintains
Ryan
another
Furness.
consistent performance here. He's got a break in the bank now, and he could well be looking at a 3-0 lead in a second.
Third leg, it's Ryan to throw first. Game on.
It's such a lovely game to play when everything falls your way. When your opponents are missing doubles,
140.
you're scoring consistently. The game seems easy.
140.
When your opponents hit you, they don't hurt you.
58.
You've always got to be on your watch, though. Things can change in a heartbeat in this game. Playing in Champions Week a couple of weeks ago,
83.
it didn't go the way of Ryan Furness. But I'm sure it was a good experience for him. He was sharing the hockey
49.
with the likes of Scutt, who he will play in his next match, and the all-time great Robert Thornton.
58.
That kind of experience can't be bought.
$45.
Opportunity now for Thomas, who has the darts.
$100.
This is the first meeting between these two. Not surprised to see that. They're from different areas of the UK. One from South
59.
Wales, one from
Martin,
the south
you
of England.
require 120.
There's a good 3 to 4 hours between them. But Ryan Furness,
60.
who has a
Ryan, you
personal best
require
finish
150.
for the year of 142, would love this. You'll be hoping that more must has come from
Martin,
Thomas
you require 60.
to give him the chance of getting that 3-0 lead. Tops.
50.
And the misses do come.
Ryan, you require
More
52.
bad news for Martin, as he goes for tops and for that 3-0 lead.
42.
What a chance wasted.
Martin, you require 10.
Not having a great time of it on the doubles.
8.
And more misses from him. More frustration.
Ryan, you require 10.
And Furness, who's had 7 visits here.
Five.
And visit number 8 is not fruitful
Martin,
either.
you require 2.
Bed is blocked.
No score.
And that was a very
Ryan,
difficult
you require
shot.
5.
Double 2.
Game
He's
shot
found
the
it
third
for the
leg.
3-0
Ryan
lead.
Furness.
He will not believe that he has won that leg. I think he may be thinking to himself, I'd surrendered that, but I've somehow won it. 3-0 up.
Fourth leg, it's Martin to throw first.
It's going to take some effort from somebody to break another record that was established
97.
earlier this week. Scott Marsh was in a match earlier in the week where he was given one of the records that you do not want to get.
100.
He now owns the record of spending more time on doubles than anybody else in a single game.
140.
The record now stands at 30 darts at a double in a single match. And he did win the game.
84.
On the plus side, Scott Marsh did not break the record for the longest leg won.
140.
He won one of the legs in that match in 32 darts, when in fact the record for the longest leg of the year is 33.
60.
So he
Martin
saved his
require
blushes there.
124.
This game is being played furiously fast all of a sudden.
Game shot on the fourth
And it
leg.
seems to work for Martin Thomas, who gets his first leg of the night. And he celebrates it with two hands in the air. And he does it with a ton plus checkout as well.
Fifth leg, it's Ryan to throw first. Game on.
What is it about Welsh dart players coming into this room and being
125.
exuberant? We saw all sorts of that from Richie Burnett earlier on today, who was struggling with a bit of an injury,
81.
but still fought valiantly to the very end. We'll hope he's going to be all right tomorrow, but I hasten to tell you that with 0 points going into the final day of Group C, I don't think he's going to make it through to the finals on Saturday. All of a sudden, Martin Thomas is playing proper darts. He's doing so from 3-0 down.
100.
And that is a position that Richie Burnett has won from in times gone by at the Online Darts Live League this year, but on 2 occasions against Scott Marsh in the last few weeks, he has lost from 3-0 up.
60. Martin, you require 100.
To all of a sudden be within 1. Another.
Game shot.
Things are going right all of a sudden.
Thomas.
He is showing a real fighting spirit here. A little bit of respect between the two of them, and I completely agree with that. Tops to get within 1.
Sixth leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on. This
is the beautiful thing about the best of 7 format. You could have someone at 3-0 and comfortable.
100.
But there's always that lingering doubt that if you take your foot off the pedal, you could have an opponent who is no longer under pressure
128.
and then hits the gas the way that Martin is doing right now. His average has climbed to 89. Ryan's has gone down to 81.
100.
But there is a caveat to this, and that is that Ryan Furness has the darts
40.
in the last leg. If we go that far.
60.
Thomas is making this sprint look very fast. And he's found a maximum at a great time.
180.
We've gone from all games being
125. Martin, you require 87.
to 2 games going 4-3.
Game
And that's
shot
exactly
the
where we
sixth
are
leg.
going to be.
Martin Thomas.
Because it's 3 legs in a row for Martin Thomas after being 3-0 down. And the winner of the next leg will take the points. It's a huge leg for Martin Thomas.
Final leg. It's Ryan to throw first. Game
If Ryan
on.
does snag it, he will have 4 points for the night and remain undefeated. But all of the momentum
93.
belongs to the man from Aberystwyth.
$140.
Ryan's going to feel like someone who has been in front in a 1,500 metre race for about 1,450 metres. And all of a sudden, Thomas is on his shoulder and sprinting fast.
180.
And overtaking him. Every 180 in this match has been hit by Martin Thomas. He's got 4 of them. And he's now got the better average by a good 10 points. It's the kind of performance that I really
83.
admire. That 124 checkout that he hit in leg 4 really has galvanised him.
99.
And if he hits
Martin,
this,
you require 98.
it'll be his first points of the night. Double 19. Oh, that was a bit overzealous.
82.
But he is the first person to get a match
Ryan,
dart.
you require 110.
He'll be heartbroken if Furness hits this. And he might.
92.
They've both had one match dart.
Martin, you require 16.
Does Thomas win it on double 4?
14.
He's had 4 match darts now. And Ryan Furness can
Ryan, you
steal it
require 18.
after being 3-0 up.
Game,
And he has
shots,
stolen it.
And the match.
All that
Ryan
work
Furness.
that Martin Thomas did to get back into the match, it was valiant from him, but he comes up short. And yet again, for the second match in succession, we have somebody losing with an average far greater than the person that won it in the end. The checkered percentage does tell a bit of a story, and ultimately it was 4 match darts missed by the man from Wales. He's heartbroken on 0 points, but Furness will be feeling very lucky to be on 4. That's the halfway point of our coverage for this evening. Exciting stuff all of a sudden. But when we come back, it's going to be Jared Cole, still looking for his first win of the night against Barstow, who did recover after losing his first match of the night. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We are now into the second half of our play in Group B for Thursday evening as we approach the midnight hour. It's not that far away, maybe about 30 minutes. But before we get to that point, we're going to have a 5th meeting of the year between Chaz Barstow and Jared Cole. Not a great deal to smile about so far for the night for Jared.
First leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
But he will be hoping for 2 things in this match. 1, a first victory against Chaz on this hockey. And secondly, a little bit of revenge after losing to Chaz in the Phase 4 final. They have not met on this hockey since that early Sunday morning match,
34.
which I'm sure Jared will remember without any fondness.
96.
That last game was for £6,000. Chaz walked away with the big prize. An average of 92.84 in that match to Jared's 87. But if you dissect the statistics of their head-to-head record to date,
140.
it is fair to say that Jared has not played to his full potential against Chaz before. That 87 average in that final of Phase 4
58.
was his
Jared
best performance.
167.
He needs to find a 90-plus average for me if he's going to beat Chaz here. This is usually the point of the night where Chaz finds his best stuff.
$140. Jared, you require 83.
For a first leg breaker throw, he needs 2 double tops.
43.
Chose not to go for it. I'm
Jared, you require
surprised.
57.
1 tops. 1 tens.
Game shot on the
And a
first
1-0
leg.
lead for Chaz Barstow. Whatever he does against Jared Cole, it seems to work. I wonder if he owns a Jared Cole voodoo doll.
Second leg, it's Jared to throw first.
If such a thing does exist.
96.
As far as darts merchandise is concerned, because I know there are a lot of people tuning in tonight who are interested in such things like collecting darts, shirts, flights, other bits of memorabilia. The best piece of darts merchandise I have ever seen was in Denmark a couple of years ago, where it was a Peter Snakebite Right Lego figure.
100.
You know you've made it when you've got your own Lego figure. Get all 3.
157.
Jared, I'm going to have a word with you in a second when this game is done, because you really should have gone for that. You don't often get an opportunity for 3 bulls, and I really wanted to see it.
91. Jared, you require 148.
Oh, look at this.
100.
How fast is this game? You just wonder if the really fast pace does suit Jared Cole, or whether he's been drawn into a game that is too quick.
Game shot on the second leg.
Maybe I should rest my case, because that is a stunning leg from Jared Cole, where he didn't go for the 3rd bullseye. And when I speak to you, Jared, I'm going to tell you off.
Third leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
He is supposed to do the right thing for him in a game, but at the same time, he's supposed to entertain us.
180.
That's entertaining. A first 180 of the match. I have seen one person hit 3 bullseyes this year.
100.
We've just seen 2 players hit 3 treble 20s. A few weeks ago, I saw Jose de Souza
59.
hit 3 bullseyes when he had 165 left. And when he left 15, Gary Anderson was on
58.
double 10. And Gary swiftly took the double 10 out to make those 3 bullseyes completely moot.
84.
Got to go back upstairs.
99.
And does so with effect. Standard-wise, at this early stage, this is promising.
Jared, you require 164.
Both around the 100 average mark.
92.
Both on
Jared, you
similar
require
finishes in leg number
84.
3. It's double 11.
Game shot on the third
That's a perfectly
leg.
pitched
Chaz
shot
Barstow.
by Chaz Barstow to get to the halfway point. There's not many mistakes happening in this match.
Fourth leg, it's Jared to throw first.
What does Jared Cole have to do to get a win against Chaz Barstow? Because currently
139.
102 is not enough. I said he had to lift his level to try and get a win against Chaz, but he seems to be very reluctant to give up this 100% record against the youngster from Hertfordshire.
140.
These are the kind of games you want to watch late on a Thursday night.
140.
If you're just coming in from Super League, because a lot of Super Leagues around the United Kingdom do take place on a Thursday night. I know they do in Northumberland, my old county. hadn't had enough darts tonight.
100.
Plunking yourself in front of the telly watching this,
127.
or on your smart device. Bullseye for Cole.
102.
You heard the clip of the wire.
Charge you require 121.
Will we get another shot of the bullseye here? No.
$81.
Does leave tops.
Jared, you require 25.
And Cole cannot afford one mistake here. But unfortunately,
21.
he is throwing just a tiny bit
Charge you
quicker.
require 40.
And it has to be because of the Barstow pace.
Game shot on the fourth
This game
leg.
is suiting
Chaz
him
Barstow.
more than it is suiting JC. That is for sure. And if you look at their historic games, it looks to me like Barstow has JC's measure.
Fifth leg, it's Chaz to throw first.
I would not be shocked to hear Jared Cole say
55.
these words. I am sick of the sight of Chaz Barstow.
58.
It's almost as if Chaz is constantly sticking points in his side of the table and got a permanent hand in his wallet, taking money away from him as well. That last leg decider they had on the 18th of September was very expensive for Jared. It cost him £3,000. And of course, there is the opportunity tomorrow night to book your spot into Saturday night via this group for an additional shot at £2,000, which is the bonus if you win the week.
134.
Spectacular
Jared, you
contest
require
this.
129.
Cole has maintained that 102 average throughout the entire game. Straight for the ball.
96.
I've got to say that's a mistake. I know he wants to get rid of this leg as soon as possible, but
54.
now he's got an odd
Jared, you
number.
require 33.
Double 16.
17.
And this is match point for Barstow.
Chaz, you require 144.
This would get him to 4 points alongside Scutt and Furness.
44. Jared, you require 16.
Jared's got to put in a spurt from this
Game's
point,
on the
and there
fifth
is the
leg.
starting point
Jared
of that
Cole.
spurt. He gets himself a break of throw, so in leg 6, he's got to remain resolute to keep this match going.
Sixth leg, it's Jared to throw first.
Superb start. 3 maximums in this match, 2 for Cole, 1 for Barstow.
136.
6 visits of 140 or more, shared equally between the two.
137.
It's Barstow who has the better checkered percentage of 75%. He's only had 4 shots at a double.
134.
He's hit 3 of them.
$93.
But Barstow is not leaving Cole alone.
91.
Comes up with a treble
Jared, you
17
require
to get to a similar
134.
finish.
94.
He sets
Jared,
up
you require
double top
140.
to take us all the way for the 3rd consecutive game.
80.
And after we had 3 4-0s,
Jared, you require 40.
this shot will give us 3 consecutive 4-3s.
Game shot on the
Look
sixth
at
leg.
that.
Jared
Right
Cole.
in the middle. A perfect double top. And he has an opportunity to beat Barstow for the first time, but has to break his throw in leg 7.
7th and final leg. It's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
95 average Barstow, 101 for Jared Cole.
140.
Maintain that. And it would be the highest average of the night, but he doesn't want a high average with another loss.
59.
He just wants to win the leg, no matter how many darts it is. Whether it's 12 or 32.
48.
Or somewhere in between.
98.
That second dart at the treble 20, when he's planted the first one in, is starting to land a little short.
99.
The deficit is 130. For how long? Not for long. It's on as even after 9.
98.
Leaves 116 to win it. And Cole can only leave the equivalent of 3 bulls.
116.
Oh, he's found it. Double top.
Game,
Barstow wins with
match.
a 15-dart hold
Barstow
in the very last leg. And for the 5th consecutive game between these two, it is an undefeated streak for the man from Winchester. We have 3 players in tonight's league, of course, on 4 points, and the other 2 are on 0. 100 average for Cole, the first ton plus average for the night, but it doesn't get him a win. 96 is good enough for Barstow, and he has responded brilliantly after losing his first match of the night by 4 legs to 0. But look at those checkouts for Barstow, 80%. That's what won him that game. We're going to move on now with Connor Scutt up against Ryan Furness. They've both had very good nights tonight. They are undefeated so far, but one of them is about to lose for the very first time when we return. More fast-firing action coming at you live here with the Online Darts Live League. And we press on with Connor Scutt now up against Ryan Furness. Two competitors who met 3 times in Champions Week in the previous phase. So now in phase 6 they have another meeting. There's a bit of a pattern occurring in this table. And one of these players is about to get to 6 unanswered points. Furness currently at the top of the table. But you can see that the leg difference is the same between these two. Something's got to give.
It's Connor to throw first. Game on.
Whoever loses this match will be disappointed, because it will be their first loss in this group.
134.
But if they want to feel a little bit better, all they have to do is look at the two players in the bottom 2 positions, because
100.
That 4-point gap between 4th position and 3rd is a nice little cushion in a very short group where 3 players progress
100.
and 2 are relegated from the possibility of making a bow into the finals on Saturday night. The longer that gap persists,
55.
the slimmer the possibility for Martin Thomas and Jared Cole to get themselves out of jail in this group.
140.
Cole has now played 3 matches for the night, and he will finish his campaign against Martin Thomas in match number 8.
140.
If he doesn't get a win there,
require
it will be a fruitless evening. Connor Scutt is a very creative finisher, but even I didn't expect him to go treble 19 first on 127 there.
60. Connor, you require 68.
What's he going to do this time? Something conventional? You betcha.
Game shot on the first leg.
That's textbook
Connor
stuff
Scutt.
from Connor Scutt. He looks like he's got his mojo back after just squeaking a victory in his last game. That is a very, very good start with a 68 checkout.
Second leg, it's Ryan to throw first. Game on.
There won't be many players who have got a winning record against Connor with this current form of his.
42.
But Ryan Furness has won 2 of their 3 meetings when they played in Group A of Champions Week just a couple of weeks ago.
140.
2 wins of 4-3 on the Monday and the Tuesday. And then Connor got one back on the Wednesday by 4 legs to 2. But since
42.
then, Scutt has gone up a level. He's found a higher level of performance and more consistency.
91.
When you start putting in averages of around 111, which he did earlier this week, it does something to a player.
100.
On one hand, you get certain players who do it and they say, I might not ever play like that again. Players like Scutt,
100.
very different. He will say to himself, I can play better than that. And that should worry people.
95. Connor, you require 170.
He's got 2 of these this year. Looking for number 3.
134.
Earlier in the week, he had a cacophony of efforts at 170. And in 2 games, he had 3 attempts at it and hit 1 of them.
Connor, you require 36.
But for 2-0 in a flash,
Game shot
there
the
you have
second
Connor
leg.
Scutt with a
Connor
13
Scutt.
darter, and he's at it again. The average is up towards 111, and he know that he can maintain it. If he can over the next couple of legs, it could be another personal best.
Third leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
There are 2 players in this field this evening who have reached the 111 mark
60.
in a single game. Scutt is one of them. Barstow is the other. The other players have all got personal best averages on this hockey of over
44.
100. In fact, Furnesses is 106.08, which is not bad at all. It's actually Martin Thomas who has a personal best, which is at the lowest particular point, 103.24. That's better from Ryan Furness. The first maximum of the match.
56.
There are certain games that I've played in my career that have made me feel dizzy. When I've played against Michael van Gerwen
140
in full Hulk mode, Ricky Evans, Jelle Klaassen, but probably more than anybody else, Keane Barry made me feel dizzy.
95.
And I wasn't even in the same room as him.
137.
When I was playing him online in the live league last year. Some people are very comfortable playing in games at this pace. I'm not one of them.
57.
165 is the magic number here. You'll have to settle for leaving 100.
Require 80.
Another single for tops.
60.
Chance for Scutt.
Connor, you require
He's 100% on doubles in this match so far. Can he keep it going?
Game shot on the
yes,
third
he
leg.
can.
Connor Scutt.
Stunning finishing from Connor Scutt. The average plummets a little bit, but so far so good on the score sheet.
Fourth leg, it's Ryan to throw first.
Ryan Furness has not lost tonight, but he is having a bit of a tumultuous evening. He took care of Jared Cole in match number 2.
100.
And took advantage of maybe an early evening cold performance from Jared. But then he survived
100.
against Martin Thomas in game 5. After being 3-0 up, he just about won 4 legs to 3 after surviving 4-match darts.
180.
And there's the first 180 of the match for Connor Scutt, who was putting in the performance of the evening so far.
$140.
Seems to me like Furness has not got an answer for what Scutt is doing.
105.
If Connor Scutt was a steak, this performance would be a Chateaubriand.
105.
And like they say with steaks,
require 160.
stick a fork in him, he might be done. Keep it sizzling for a little bit longer, they say. Furness needs a 60. Gets one.
Game
and
shot
plants a double 8 in defiant nature to make sure that the steak stays in the pan. Beautifully delivered to make sure that Connor Scutt does not get a match dart.
$140.
Just fancy if Scutt had got 4 19s to leave tops on that 116, he would have hit it.
58.
And Furness is averaging 90.5 and 50% on the doubles. And we've already seen in Group C today
140.
just what level you can attain without having much success. Richie Burnett did not get a win today,
28.
averaging over 90. And that is borderline shocking considering what we've seen in 2021. We've seen people win
64.
groups with 86, 87 averages. But all of a sudden this week, the standard has gone up. And we have a person in Group C in 6th position,
77.
averaging over 90.
Connor, you require 157.
Connor is most definitely averaging over 90 in this game.
95.
He is miles over 100. It's not going to be a personal best, but it's going to be one of his best
58.
performances on this hockey
Connor,
this
you
year.
require 62.
Hasn't missed a double.
Game,
And still hasn't
shot,
missed. It's
and
perfect.
match. Connor
It's a
Scutt.
masterclass on the outer ring from Connor Scutt, and his reputation just keeps getting better and better and better. The final average. Let's have a little look at it, shall we? It will be impressive. It's 103.31, and that 100% checkout rate. You just have to applaud it, because if he did get a shot at that 116 in leg 4, he would have hit it, in my opinion. Ryan Furness getting his first defeat of the evening, but have a look at the table, Ryan. It will make you feel better. Scutt is at the top on 6 points. We are going to see the last of Jared Cole in the next match. He badly needs a win to get himself on 2 points ahead of Friday's player. So, Jared, come on down. Our best performance of the night comes from Connor Scutt, and he is the first person this week to find 4 doubles from 4 attempts to put himself at the top of the table. But Jared Cole, towards the bottom of the table, is now taking on Martin Thomas, who was in the bottom 2 with him, and they are about to get their first win of the night. But who will it be? At least Martin Thomas has got 1 game left after this against Connor Scutt. But it's a last chance saloon for points for Thursday for JC.
First leg, it's Jared to throw first. Game on.
Martin Thomas put up a terrific fight against Ryan Furness in match number 5. After being 3-0 down,
87.
he brought it all the way to the brink. And he ended up missing 4 match darts anyway. In spots like that,
45.
Sometimes you'd prefer to be beaten 4-0. I remember a game
57.
last year in Germany between Luke Humphreys and Rob Cross, where Rob was 5-0 up. Luke Humphreys got it all the way back to 5-5.
134.
And in the end, Rob Cross won at 6-5. And I said at the time, he'd probably
57.
wish he'd been beaten 6-0. After all the hard work he did, he ended up losing anyway. Much was the same for Martin
100.
against Furness a few legs ago. But since then, Jared Cole has been defeated after putting in the first 100+ average of the night, losing by 4 legs to 3 to Chaz. But if Jared stands a chance of getting himself in the top 3 tomorrow, he really does need a victory here. It's feasible
125.
that the 3 players who have points
92.
at this current time will stretch their legs after he's finished in this one. Double 12.
80.
So these are the chances he needs
Jared
to take.
requires 75.
Double top.
55. Martin, you require 12.
For the first time tonight, Martin Thomas could be in the lead.
Game
And
shot
he is in the lead for the very first time
Thomas.
in game 8 of 10 tonight. In his 3rd match of the night, Martin Thomas has found the lead in a game for the very first time.
Second leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
Lost his first game by 4 legs to 0, so was never in the lead there. 3-0 down to Furness. Brought it back to 3-3,
59.
but didn't win the last leg. Was never in the lead there. So maybe the key to success for Martin is to take the lead early and keep it.
84.
I've run into Martin quite a lot over the last few weeks. I've seen him here, of course. I also saw him in Barnsley last
98.
week. Whenever I bump into him, he just is a big bundle of joy.
100.
And I could say the same for all my friends in South Wales. They're all just such lovely people.
134. 134.
Jared does not get any points out of tonight. He's got every right to go to bed tonight with a little bit of a frown. Not even Martin Thomas could cheer him up.
140.
Because it's Martin who's making Jared's mood even worse right now.
99. Martin, you require 70.
20 in tops to double the lead.
Game shot on the
And he's
second
starting to
leg.
find the mark
Martin
now.
Thomas.
And Jared Cole has got that very empty feeling that maybe he's on the cusp of walking away from tonight's group games without
Third
any
leg, it's
points.
Jared to throw first.
He would admit that he didn't play well in his first game.
93.
But he played better against Connor Scutt in match 4. And his average was 13 to 14 points better than Connors in that game. And then against Barstow, his average was better again, but averages do not get you extra points. You have to get the 4 legs.
58.
We're starting to see facial expressions from Jared that tell the story.
99.
He looks a bit deflated to me. And if I was in his shoes, not only would my mood be like his, but my feet would be too small because he's got very big feet.
140.
Got to fill it.
140. Martin, you require
even with a 140,
82.
he looks deflated because I think he knew he needed to fill it up. It's double top again.
$42.
Chance for Cole.
Jared to require 140.
I think he must hit this.
94.
You can see the frustration of that shot at
Martin,
tops
you
that comes up
require
half an inch
40.
short. Double 10. Back up top.
30.
All a bit ragged, that one.
Jared to require 20.
And a massive chance to go 3-0 up.
Game shot on the
Right
third
in the
leg.
corner for
Jared
Jared Cole, and he survives leg 3. He didn't play well in that leg, but he has done just about enough to get within one of Martin Thomas's position.
Fourth leg, it's Martin to throw first.
Now, 2021 has been a very tough year for a lot of people. I know a lot of the players are very grateful to have had the opportunity of playing here, to ply their trade
99.
the best way they know how, but a lot of the people who have worked with us, both in front of the camera and behind the camera, have worked tirelessly at bringing this to you. The commentators, myself, Chris Mason, Chris Murphy and Mark Webster, all hope that you've enjoyed the production.
58.
Everybody in the background as well. But I'd like to, at this stage, just pay tribute to somebody who has worked in the back room with us
121.
a few times, and that's Anthony Dundas, who is a world-class referee. He's had a particularly tough 2021,
140.
and he's suffered
Martin
some more
requires
devastating news
60.
today. So everybody here at the Online Darts Live League is wishing Anthony well.
Game shot on the fourth.
It's 3-1 to Martin Thomas. And Jared Cole is very much close to the exit door without getting any points for Thursday night. He's in real trouble in Group B.
Fifth leg, it's Jared to throw first. Game on.
Just to emphasise my point from the previous leg,
100.
there are a lot of sports around the world that can be classed as a close-knit family. I'm very proud to be part of this darts family.
140.
And we all stick together when there is adversity and when people are struggling. And when our friend Kyle
96.
Anderson passed away recently, we all stuck together and did something quite incredible with the help of Damon Hetter for Kyle's family.
81. 95.
I think every player, whether it's here or on the PDC Pro Tour,
140.
very proud to be part of this darts family. I know I am. And Martin Thomas should be very proud of this performance because he's averaging 100.
60. Martin, you require 140.
He could send Jared Cole packing in the next 6 darts.
40.
Bit of a head scratcher,
Jared
that one.
require 150.
He does leave a 2-darter. Needs another for double 18.
Game
Oh,
shot
it's
on
a
the fifth
150 out
leg.
for Jared Cole. He stops Martin Thomas from getting a match dart. One of his best finishes of the week and
Sixth
much
leg. It's
needed.
Martin to throw first.
And if he gets out of this game with 2 points, it'll all be because of that.
134.
In similar fashion to his dismal record against Chaz Barstow, which has been stretched to 5 defeats
96.
now from 5 attempts. His record against Martin Thomas is just as bad, really. 3 games and 3 defeats.
55.
Every time he's played Martin Thomas, he has lost 4-2. That same result is possible with Jared banking leg 5.
100.
And Thomas getting to 212 after 9 with a very healthy 135-point lead. Which no longer stands because of the first maximum of the match from Jared Cole.
$100. Jared, you require.
Does he have another big one in his locker? He may well have to dodge match darts 59. If he wants to get a first win
Martin, you require
against Martin this year. The match dart is at tops.
72.
And it misses by the finest margin.
Jared, you require 108.
Where does he want to go? Double 16.
Game
and he hits another ton plus checkout to take us all the way. Full credit to the 21-year-old who looks at the brink, and a match dart is missed against him, but he finds a second ton plus checkout in 2 legs to take us to leg 7 with him throwing first. Terrific game of darts. And the 4th game tonight that's gone to the 7th leg. He's playing like a young man who refuses to go away from tonight without any points. It could be the biggest leg of his week. He comes up with 2 treble 18s. He's got a massive lead here.
96.
Is Martin Thomas going to lose 4-3 again? After that heartbreaking loss to Ryan Furness in match 5.
60.
Needs quite a few of them.
100.
He only gets the 1.
Jared, you require 120.
Not 3 out of 3 on ton plus checkout, surely.
100.
That would have been Bob Anderson-esque if he'd have hit that tops. But they've both had a match start now.
100. Jared, you require 20.
Jared gets a second.
Game,
and that is where the match is won. He
Jared
walks
Cole
away from Thursday night with 2 points. And Martin Thomas will have that possibility when he takes on Connor Scutt in match 10. But you can see that Thomas, with an excellent performance of a 96 average, but 94, this time it's the inferior average of Jared Cole that is good enough to get his first points of the night with 50% on the doubles. And that 150 checkout was key to be the catalyst to get that victory. Fantastic stuff from JC. Well done tonight on getting those 2 points in the end. Ryan Furness is up against Chaz Barstow. That's match 9. It's next, and it is their final game of the night. It is the penultimate game of the night, and it should be a good one between Ryan Furness and Chaz Barstow. It is about positioning yourself well before tomorrow night's final group games in Group B. So what will they do in match number 4 for the night? The best that Ryan Furness can do, 6 points. The same goes for Chaz. Connor Scutt will go for the perfect 8 when he plays Martin Thomas next.
First leg, it's Ryan to throw first. Game on.
I have to say at this juncture, I've been in this chair for all of the Group C matches earlier on today, and all of these Groups B matches as well. The standard, I have to applaud it.
137.
Everybody is bringing a brilliant level of play today.
140.
We've already had a record when it comes to ton plus checkouts from Group C today. But it looks to me like Group B might be at the same sort of stuff. Barstow starts hot, and it could be one of those destructive performances that we get from Chaz now and again.
94.
90 left after 9. Watch out when he's in this mood. He can pretty much do whatever he wants.
100. Chaz, you require
I expect him
90.
to hit this. 25 and bull. I was wrong.
59.
He misses the bull.
Ryan, you require 76.
Chance for Ryan. Double top.
36.
Clips the wire.
Chaz, you require
To give Chaz
31.
a chance to break the throw once again. Double 10.
11.
He was closer to double 6 with the second dart.
Ryan, you require 40.
Just glide it down that barrel. Now you've got 2 of them to hit.
Game shot on the first
That's the
leg.
benefit of getting
Ryan
2
Furness.
delicious guides just like that. A bit like having a really big basket and a big backboard. Hit the backboard first and it'll go into the basket.
Second leg, it's Chaz to throw first.
Just to emphasise the point about ton plus finishes.
96.
We got 17 earlier today from Group C. A daily record for a Group C group. Fantastic stuff.
97.
But we've had 10 tonight. And the record for Group B in one session is 12.
96.
And we've still got 1 3/4 matches to go. I wouldn't be surprised if that record was broken.
140.
Because if you look at the stats quite closely from each and every player, there is something to cheer about for everybody.
83.
Martin Thomas has got no points, but he's got the most 180s tonight with 6. His doubles percentage is under 20% though. That's why he's won and lost.
$42.
Ryan Furness has got 2 maximums and an excellent doubles record of 40.91%. But that is dwarfed by what Connor Scutt has done.
134.
He's averaging 92.78 and he's got 67% of his doubles for the evening.
95. Chaz, you require 92.
Double 16. He thought that was in.
Game
That
shot
one
on the
is.
second leg.
And Chaz Barstow levels things up. So it has been a good, almost resuscitating evening here for Chaz Barstow, who started with a 4-0 defeat. But since then, very good.
Third leg, it's Ryan to throw first.
Barstow 38% on doubles for the night, which is fine.
140.
Players of his quality always want to be over 40%. averaging over 90 for the evening.
137.
And strangely, he's only had a couple of maximums and a couple of ton plus checkouts. So if he can walk away with 6 points tonight
100.
and honestly say to himself in the mirror when he gets home, I got 6 points, but I didn't play my best darts.
100.
But I'll take that. Here's the strangest statistic for the night.
95.
Connor Scutt, who did break the record for daily 180s in a Group A cluster
100.
yesterday, with 16 of them, has only got one tonight. What a strange turn of events.
58. Charge you require 164.
Another. Bull.
139.
I was just about to say boom.
Ryan, you require 108.
Let himself down by just under pitching it. He stayed up top. I thought the 48 was calling
100.
there.
Charge you
Tops.
require 25.
So Barstow does have the chance on double 10 to break.
5.
He's now missed it 4
Ryan, you
times in
require
this
8.
match. He could well be 3-0 up. Double 1.
6.
He could still be 2-1 up.
Charge you require 20.
How are his fortunes on double 10 this time? Not so good.
10.
No such fortune on
Ryan, you
double 5
require
either.
2.
Still Madhouse.
No score.
Oh, who wants it?
Charge you require 10.
This is for a break of throat. What a guide.
Game
What a
shot on the
dart.
third leg.
Perfectly done.
Chaz Barstow.
And it's a strange break of throw in the end. But you have to say he followed the rule book with double 5. One slightly above. Use it. And in she goes.
Fourth leg, it's Chaz to throw first.
So
99.
we've had 27 ton plus checkouts today. If you'd have said that to me this morning, I would not have believed you.
59.
But this is the reality of the quality of this group.
137.
We have been teasing you over the course of the last couple of days, saying that we do know who's going to play in week 3 of Phase 6.
60.
But we're not going to let the cat out of the bag until Saturday night.
95.
There is no pre-final show this week with myself and Phil Bars because he's gone to the Grand Slam. But what I might do is I might come on the air a little bit early and let you know who those combatants are. If not, you'll just have to watch us from 10 PM on Sporty Stuff TV on Saturday night.
59.
And I'll let you know then. Needs them all. Gets the lot.
180. Charge you require 111.
First 180 of the match. Is it too late?
71.
It might not be.
Ryan, you require
To
77.
break straight back. Double 10.
Game shot on the
Perfectly
fourth
done.
leg. Ryan Furness.
And that is 257 points in 5 darts. It doesn't get much better than that in a 2-2 game in the Battle of Winchester.
Fifth leg, it's Ryan to throw first.
I'm sure these guys know each other extremely well.
100.
They're from the same sort of neighbourhood. And that part of Hampshire has been getting plenty of airtime
96.
here at the Live League this year. with Barstow, with Furness, with Scott Walters a little bit earlier on today,
59.
with Mike Gillett. Winchester is the place to be.
58.
I recently read an article actually about Winchester. It's apparently one of the nicest places to live in the UK. Never even been there.
100.
I'll have to change that. I'll have to ask these lads what it's like there.
58.
Barstow does not want to let this one slip. He could have easily been 3-0 up.
83.
Could have been 3-1 up. If he goes 3-2 down, he might only walk away from tonight with 4 points.
59.
And his participation in Saturday night will be a 50-50 shot tomorrow night.
97.
Got to squeeze one in between.
60.
Only leave 170,
Ryan
so
requires
opportunity
62.
knocks here for Ryan Furness. Double top.
42. Charge require
scenes if this
170.
goes. But it just didn't seem likely.
134.
He's been hot in very short
Ryan,
spells
require
tonight.
20.
It's double 5 for Ryan.
Game shot
And he
the fifth
finds it
leg.
with the third
Ryan
dart
Furness.
to take a 3-2 lead in this penultimate match of the evening. And Barstow, if he wants 6 points, has got to win 2 straight legs.
Sixth leg, it's Chaz to throw first.
Not that I'm jumping ahead to his World Championship debut, which will take place
140.
in around 6 weeks' time. But I just wonder what the walk-on music will be for Chaz Barstow when he graces Alexandra Palace.
59.
It'll be slightly different to this arena because there's only 3 people in here, and that's including the referee.
100.
He's going to have to go from this to playing in front of almost 4,000 folk.
97.
Coming from someone who has played at Ali Pali quite a few times, nothing prepares you for that
96.
stage. It is a wonderful thing. Until the lights go out, of course.
100.
Bullseye or a 54 would be very good here.
78.
I didn't say a small 3. That just invites Ryan Furness back in a bit. Especially if he hits the lot.
140.
Give it a fair
Charge
chance.
require 87.
Double 18. Oh,
Game
it's
shot
right
the
in
sixth
there.
leg.
Snug
Chaz
in the
Barstow.
corner. And it's 3-3. A one-leg shootout between these two from Hampshire to see who will finish
Seventh and final
on
leg.
6
It's Ryan
points
to throw first.
for the night.
Game on.
They could both go through tomorrow night with Connor Scutt potentially.
82.
But with that last gasp win in match 8, Jared Cole has given himself a fighting chance a little bit later tonight on Friday.
100.
But if you get to 6 points now, you're more likely to go through than having 4.
58.
That's just logic. You'd much rather have a 4-point gap over Jared Cole than a 2-point gap. But only one player can have that.
81.
It's like a game of musical chairs. Only one of them can sit down.
140.
And it's more likely to be Ryan Furness at this point. Darts in hand. 41 lead. A dart in the 60.
100.
and an 80 checkout away from those 6 points. And you'd have to say that he's not played his best darts tonight, but he's stuck to his task.
80.
Double 10.
Game,
Job done.
And the match.
Really good
Ryan
that he's
Furness.
put in his best leg of the night, in my opinion, in the last leg that he plays. Very, very even game. The checkouts weren't the best. They had a couple of legs where they missed a fair few chances, but that was a very good performance on the 140s from Ryan Furness. And ultimately, that 14 darter at the end has given him 6 points to go into later on Friday night with a great chance of getting to Saturday night once again. We'll see more of Barstow in about 20 hours. So, last game of the night, it's going to be Martin Thomas against Connor Scutt, who's going for the perfect evening. Welcome to the final match of our coverage of Group B for Thursday evening and, of course, Friday morning, of which it is now. We will have some more action for you from 9:30 a.m. coming up in about 9 hours' time. But first, we have this last match of Group B, and it is a chance for Connor Scutt to have the perfect night/morning. He has been the best player tonight. Of that, there is no doubt. Started perfectly with a 4-0 victory over Chaz Barstow. And if he gets to 8 points, he is very close to guaranteeing his place in Saturday night once again to play a 6th consecutive day this week.
First leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
So let's dissect what Connor has done tonight. Beat Chaz Barstow 4-0. Average just shy of 97.
140.
80% on doubles. And at that point we thought, what a clinic that was. Then he was involved in that scrappy battle
140.
with Jared Cole, winning by 4 legs to 3. A game he could have easily lost.
140.
But then after that, he went up a notch. 103.31 average and 100% on the doubles in match number 7.
180.
And he looks in a very similar mood at the start of this one. He is the first player this week
85.
to have given us a perfect game on the doubles, 4 from 4. It might not be the last time he serves it up.
65. Martin, you require 136.
Heavyweight start here from both players.
60. Connor, you require 160.
Makes the 19s here sometimes, but decides against it this time.
58. Martin, you require
Thomas for
76.
76. And a 5-visit first leg. Ooh, 16s first. Now he's got to go 18s for Bull.
51.
Didn't work out the way he planned.
Connor, you
So
require
Scutt has a chance
58.
to finish him off in 14 or 15 darts in leg 1.
38.
Misses
Martin
the first couple of
required
darts of double in this
25.
match. Somewhat uncharacteristic.
13.
And 2 misses from Thomas as well.
Connor, you
To
require
offer Scutt
20.
another chance to break.
Game
The
shot.
chance he takes in 16 darts. And he's not going to look back from here for me. I think he's really hungry to have a perfect day in this group the way that Adam Smith-Neal did earlier.
Second leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
It's another 180.
180.
Second of the contest. And that flabbergasting statistic coming into this match
56.
with Scutt only hitting 1 maximum in 3 games. But now he might have 4.
180.
One of the only things missing from this week is a 9-darter. And Connor Scutt, for me, is the most
59.
likely candidate to hit
Connor,
one.
you require 141.
He's just trying to do it a different way. I admire that. I like it a lot. You don't see many people go for treble 16 first on a 141.
117.
That would have been treble 16, treble 19, double 18. That is all to do with Michael van Gerwen
100.
trying to show people
Connor,
different
you
ways of
require
hitting
24.
141. Double 12.
Game
Finds
shot
double
second
6.
leg.
And
Connor
that's a
Scutt.
12-darter, and he looks like he wants to win this one in a hurry. Well, Connor, it's up to you to see how fast you can do it.
Third leg, it's Martin to throw first. $100.
It would be excellent news if Connor did get the win, but it would be
91.
horrible news for Martin. He has fought valiantly tonight. In similar vein
95.
to Chaz Barstow and Jared Cole, he was off to a nightmare start, losing by 4-0 against Barstow.
95.
But he has not been able to recover. In his last 2 matches, he has missed
96.
shots to win the match. 4 shots against Furness and just the 1 against Jared Cole in what was a very good contest.
140.
I think Scutt got ahead of himself there. He knows that last dart should have been at the 25, but he liked the lie
60.
and he was trying to be aggressive.
$99. Martin, you
I have not
require
seen Connor play this
150.
quickly all week. He can't wait to get to the hockey. The enthusiasm
75.
is palpable.
Connor, you require 76.
16. Well, that leaves double 4.
Game shot on the third
And that leaves
leg.
nothing. And
Connor
that's the name of the
Scutt.
game. If he gets another 4-0 victory in this one here, for me, he is all but safe into the top 3.
Fourth
And
leg,
would
it's
only
Connor
be
to
at the
throw
halfway
first.
point in this
Game
group.
on.
He looks as close to unbeatable in this group as I've seen in any
140.
group. He just looks a level above most of these players. Let's look at his leg difference as well, because if he
134.
does win this leg, he'll not only have 8 points, but he'll have a leg difference of plus 12.
180.
Such a shame that this might be the last leg of the night. because he is playing at such a high level and an
180.
enjoyable level. And Thomas is getting in on the act.
65.
It will be 116 for another 12 darter, and the average would be very, very big.
137.
It could be another personal best if he finds this. It's going to be close.
96. Martin, you require 50.
Connor is running around the room.
10.
And he might finish the contest right here.
Connor, you require 20.
Double 10.
Game.
A
shot,
glorious
and
performance. And we have to have a look at this average because it's going to be very close to a personal best once again. It isn't quite there. It's 107.36, but it's an incredible performance from a player who was very close to Saturday night at the halfway point of Group B. He wins Group B tonight by some stretch, undefeated, but Martin Thomas in big, big trouble after not getting a win tonight out of 4 contests played. We have had a ball tonight. I've really enjoyed watching Connor play and the others, of course. I hope you've enjoyed it too. But there you see Connor Scutt at the top with Ryan Furness in second on 6 and then Chaz Barstow occupying third. It will be the top 3 by this time tomorrow to see who goes through to Saturday night. But before we go there, we will settle Group C from 9:30 a.m. local time. And that will take place on the YouTube channel of Online Darts and via the streaming services of your favourite bookmakers. Thank you for tuning into Sporty Stuff TV tonight. I've really enjoyed it. I will see you in just under 9 hours' time for the next group. So take care, everyone, and I will see you soon. The Asset is signing out for now.